Brother Now.
Out of the Great Millstone, El Paso. Back for another walk and talk. And this lesson was inspired. We was Brother Now came to visit. We was in the house and we was talking about the blessings, the glory of the kingdom to come. Because that's what keeps us going. Okay. Every day that we are doing this work, keep our minds focused on the mission. Okay, because we know what the Lord has promised unto us. All right, and we value that more than what we value in this society. Okay, riches, wealth, the different blessings. Because a lot of people, they don't have, a lot of people who, I'll just say this, people who go against, the Bible or the scriptures or whatever, or the thought of the kingdom of heaven, really, they'll say, oh, well, how come everybody else gets to have their kingdom of heaven here and we got to die to get ours? Okay, but that's because they're ignorant of the scriptures. They're ignorant of the promises, all the things that the Lord has promised unto us. They're not aware that the kingdom of heaven, all right, is going to be here on the earth, okay? And that we'll get to enjoy all the things that the people of the world enjoy now, but magnified, double, and things that we don't even know about, things that we don't even know exist, okay? And that's what the brother I know was talking about. All right, he was saying that, he said, I'm not even worried about the things I can see. I'm worried about the things that we can't see, that we don't even know about. He said, hey, tell him what you told me.
So I was telling him, I said, we are, the Lord has blessed us, as I was doing my lesson today through Genesis, the 35th chapter. And I was talking about how the Lord blessed Israel. If you go into the 35th chapter, it talks about Isaac. He died, but he had left a blessing. The Lord had blessed his seed line. And I was talking about how the Lord really, really blessed Jacob, changed his name to Israel. So that was my lesson for today. And I got to thinking about it, and I said, as I feel like I kind of in the world, I got known well because in my early years, I was a little bit into politics. Not much, but just a little bit. I didn't really become big in it, but people know who I am. And then I got to thinking about my son, how that the Lord blessed him to find holiness, righteousness, the knowledge of the elect, something that we weren't really taught in Christianity. And I got to thinking, I said, what a blessing that the Lord has given you above me. I thought I was something, but you're really like the one that the Lord blessed the way he did with Isaac and Jacob. And Jacob became, he had 12 sons, became great nations. And then as we were talking, I said, I feel somewhat like if you were to compare, you're a priest because you can break down the Holy Scriptures. The Lord has blessed you, but you can break down the Holy Scriptures and you can see things that other people can't see. And so I said, you're so blessed, compared to me. And I just thank the Lord that he allowed me to raise up my son to see all of that. But the main thing we got to talking about was all the Lord's creation. And we were looking at the heavens and the earth, and I said the Lord had given us a vision through the prophecy, not through some unknown vision, but through the prophecy of what he said he had prepared for all of them that love him.
Let's cut through this way. It's going to be dark, but it's all good.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, just keep speaking. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And so we were talking about all the blessings that the Lord said, in my house are many mansions. And if it were not so, I would not tell you. And we got to looking at the universe and the heavens and everything and all the stars out there that are just like the earth. And I got to thinking, the Lord has promised us all of that and more, even things we can't see spirit with the eye, but spiritually we can have faith and believe in what he has to offer us. And I say it's such, the world is blind to that. You know, they don't have common sense. They don't see everything that the Lord is offering to us if we be holy and righteous, the great blessings we have. Look at all the stars out there we've never seen. So man is nothing. He's a pebble. He's a pebble in you know, on the seashore. And the Lord told Abraham, he said, I'm gonna bless your seed like a pebble on the seashore.
The sand of the sea.
The sand of the sea, right.
Yeah.
The sand of the sea. I'm gonna bless you. And the Lord said, in the end of the day, a child shall become a nation. So that's what we have ahead of us. Even though we live in 2025, we're suffering, we're afflicted. The world counts us as nothing. It's through this eyesight that the Lord has given to us spiritually to realize what He has to offer us. So He said, in my house there are many mansions.
Yep.
If it was not so, I would not tell you.
Yep.
So we got all of this to look forward to.
Right.
And I was saying, what a great blessing we have, even though we're counted as a worm on the earth, Jacob. So you're a worm. The Lord said it in all the scriptures. He called us a worm.
Right.
But then He turned around, changed His name to Israel, and told him and gave him a blessing. You see, gave Israel a blessing. And so that's what we do. We're fishing for the elect so that you can come into the knowledge and the greatness of what the Lord has offered you as kings and priests in the Lord, you know, in the tabernacle of David and up under the, sitting on the right-hand side of His Son's throne, Yahweh Shai. What a blessing that is.
Yep. Go ahead and, matter of fact, pull up 1 John 3. Pull up 1 John, the 3rd chapter.
Stop for a minute.
Yeah, Con, go ahead.
Find that.
Do what you got to do.
1 John.
1 John 3.
You know, so we are so blessed, and I don't think everyone really see how blessed we are.
Yep.
We're in a
I can
lower
pull it up
state.
for you.
I got it.
Okay.
We're in a lower state in the United States. We're counted as you know, as the dirt of the earth, but that's all in the prophecy.
Right.
But we have a great kingdom ahead of us, and the Lord has blessed us that He takes the base things and make them the great things, and He take the rich and
Bring them down low.
and bring it down low. That's in the Holy Scriptures. So,
I'm going to read the scripture for you.
So this 1 John 3 and what?
Let's start from the top. I'll go
Okay.
ahead and read it.
Okay.
All right. 1 John 3 and 1. It says, Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew Him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doeth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when He shall appear, we shall be like Him.
Be like Him.
For we shall see Him as He is.
As He is.
And every man that hath this hope in Him purifieth himself, even as He is pure. All right.
That's right.
Take
There
it
you
back.
go. So that's what we're looking to do. Every day, we die so that Yahweh Shai will live
Yep.
in us.
Con.
So we're putting down our own personal lusts so that Yahweh Shai, His Spirit, will live in us.
Right.
You see? And the Lord said, if you do that, I have a greater kingdom for you than what the general population of the world can see.
Right.
You say, because He gave a blessing in the 35th chapter of Genesis to Jacob when He changed his name to Israel. Then He gave also there in that nation that they were in, his wives had children, 12 tribes of Israel. And you have priests in that, out of those 12 tribes, and kings out of that tribe.
Right.
You see? And Yahweh Shai came out of
cut through
that
here.
same lineage.
Con.
So we're very blessed because we have a lot to look forward to. What we really have to look forward to is nothing compared to what we see on the earth.
And vice versa. You said that backwards. What we see on the earth is nothing compared to what we had to look forward
That's
to.
right. What we see on the earth is nothing compared to that's what I'm trying to say. It's
Yep.
nothing compared to what the Lord is going to give us.
Right.
When we look at the stars, we
that
look
way.
at all the heavens,
We'll keep going.
we look at everything that the Lord has prepared for us. What's on the earth is nothing.
Right.
Look at you have to have common sense. Look at all the stars out there. Look at the galaxies. man can see only a few. What? Mars, the moon. He may see a few stars that he's called Jupiter and so forth. But then when you talk to him, he'll tell you, well, one thing we've learned about our telescopes is that there's a Milky Way out there. Okay? So that means there's heavens and more heavens and more heavens.
Yep.
And this is just the second heavens. This doesn't include the third heavens where the Most High and all of his angels, you have who? Michael and
Yep.
all those great angels sitting out there, you see?
God.
Yeah, we can't even see.
Right. And the brother put up a precept. And if you could, once we get to the light, I'm going to have you pull up Psalms, the 16th chapter. Okay, the brother Imrayah, Shalom, Yahabah Shem Shabbaratah. All right, the brother out of San Antonio, Texas. He put up 1 Corinthians 2 and 9. It says, but as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of men, the things which the Most High prepared for them that love him. All right, that's it. Okay. Another version of it says, which the Most High prepared for those that wait on him.
Wait on him.
Okay. And that's what we was talking about too. We was talking about just
be of good courage.
Yeah, man. Being of good courage, being patient, you know.
That's right.
Waiting on the mercy of the Lord, because like I said, we are, in this society, and you see it looks like the wicked is prospering.
Right.
That's how it appears, and it's vexing. Okay, and we're not the only ones to have had that thought. As a matter of fact, okay, we're gonna stop right here. Pull up that Psalm. Actually, get Psalms 37. Okay, we're gonna start from the top of that one.
Psalms 37. Okay, yeah, because we're the true kings and priests of the Lord. You see, that's what's beautiful about this thing, and that's what gives you faith and hope to keep you moving on. Psalms 37.
Yeah, go to Psalms 37. And you start from the top.
All right, we're going to start at Psalms 37 and 1. And it reads, fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed.
Right, yep.
Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart.
Yep.
Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass.
All right, that's it. Yeah. So all the, like I said, we talked about that. It looks like the wicked is prospering. But it said, fret not thyself because of the wicked that increase. Okay. And hey, Shalom, Yahabah Shem Shabbaratah, to the brother Aram Yahweh. All right.
The brother
out of Phoenix. Hey, Shalom, Mark. We'll cut that way to the left. We'll stop again. Get Psalms, the 16th chapter, right quick. All right, I'm gonna read this precept from the brother Aram Yahweh 144, 444, hopeful elect. He put up Genesis 50 and 20. But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but the Most High meant it unto good, to bring it to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. Hey, and that's fire, okay? Because what does Romans 8 tell you? Romans 8 chapter says, and we know that all things work together for the good to them that love the Most High, for them who are the called according to his purpose. Same chapter also tells us that this present suffering is not worthy to be compared to the glory that should be revealed in us. All right, so, once again, these are words of hope, okay? We just read in Psalms 37, delight thyself in the Lord, right? He shall give the desires of thine heart. Patiently wait for him, and he shall cause it to come to pass. So we got a lot to look forward to, man. Even though, like I said, it looks like, and we was also talking about this too. We was also saying how you look at the glory of the heathens, right? You look at Esau's kingdom. What sparked this conversation is that earlier I was watching, I was on TikTok and I was watching some ranchers. A guy, he's a rancher, right? And he owns a bunch of farmland and all that. He owns a bunch of farmland and he has like waterfront property, all these horses. And I was like, dang, that's beautiful, man. I would love to have something like that. But I thought to myself, hey, the Lord gonna give us all that and more. And it made me think, like, if the Lord gave all this to the people that he hates, how much is he gonna bless people that he loves?
Look at the planets out there.
Yeah.
That we can't see.
Yep. You got that Psalm 16? Scroll down to the bottom.
In my Father's house, there are many mansions.
Yep.
All right.
If he gave a glorious kingdom to the people that he hates, how much more is our kingdom going to be glorious to the people that he actually loves? All right. So like I said, we got a lot to look forward to,
Yeah,
man.
we got new bodies to look forward to.
That as
New
well. Yep.
powers. We have spiritual living waters to live. We'll be able to live in a perfect land where there's no sin, there's no pestilence, there's no disease. You see what I'm saying? Children everywhere, one child becoming nations, all of that the Lord has promised to those who love him. And that's worth waiting for.
Yep.
When you really know the Holy Scriptures, that gives you a drive, a serious drive,
Yep.
because you realize what you're coming into, and you're more than willing, 10 times more willing to live for this than to accept what Satan has
Right.
to
Right.
offer you. Because when you really look at it compared to that, they don't have nothing.
Right. Right. Exactly.
They
Exactly.
really don't.
Right.
They don't have nothing. They have what? The earth. We're talking about everything that the Lord created.
Right.
You see, that's what we're talking about.
Right.
We're talking about kingdoms, great kingdoms beyond what man can comprehend.
Right.
So that's what we're looking forward to. The Lord said, as sons, just like when you buy real estate, you pass it down to your son. For all this real estate that the Lord have in the universe and the Milky Ways that man claims he hasn't seen, he don't know what's out there. That's all ours. You see, all that's ours.
Right.
You
Right.
say they don't know what's on those. They don't know what's out there.
Yep.
You see, and then there are spiritual nations out there. On top of that we haven't seen. With all of that, so we're coming into a great inheritance.
Yep. I'm gonna read this precept
All
right
right.
quick, and then I see the brother, a listener of Yasharala, Yahweh Shem Shabbarakatah. I get your precept in just a sec, Akim.
Holy
Okay.
wise, the whole 9 yards. Go ahead.
Okay. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 16. All right, and I'm gonna start at verse Psalm 16, and I'm gonna start at verse 7. All right. It says, I will bless the Lord who hath given me counsel. My reins also instruct me in the night seasons. Okay, I have blessed the Lord. It says, I will bless the Lord who hath given me counsel. Who's the counsel? That's the men of the Lord that he's set up, our spiritual father, starting off with the head apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone. Okay, and then of course, the brothers that are around us that are also our mentors. Okay, all the shepherds, over the flock. All right. It says, and my reins also instruct me in the night seasons. Right now, we're in the night. All right, right now, okay, we're in literally at night, but I'm talking about in a sense of, we're in the night spiritually because we have not entered into that light of rulership, the kingdom of heaven. All right, all these things the Lord has prepared for us. Right, but verse 8 it says, I have set the Lord always before me, because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. I have set the Lord always. It's like it. Next verse 9. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoiceth. My flesh also shall rest in hope. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. All right. When it says thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, that's talking about this condition on earth that we're in right now. Okay. This is our hell, being ruled over by our enemies, living in a lawless society, ruled over by the wicked. Okay, we're in our hell, but the Lord is not going to forsake us. He's not going to leave us in this condition. Verse 11, it says, thou wilt show me the path of life, and in thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore. All right, you can take it back, the water. So, at the right hand of the Lord, who's at the right hand of the Heavenly Father? Yahweh Shai. At his right hand are pleasures forevermore. Okay, so when he appears, all right, we also appear. We enter into that glory as well. Okay, but now let's pause right quick. Pull up Colossians chapter 3. Okay, let me read this precept off the board from the brother, a listener of Yasharala, 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 17. It reads, it says, For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. That's fire. The perfect precept, brother. The water for that. That's heat. I'm gonna read that one more time. All right. 2 Corinthians 4 and 17, a listener of Yasharala. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory.
Listen at that.
We was also talking about that as well.
That's what we're talking about.
We was talking about how.
That's what the whole conversation was about.
Yep. Yeah. We was in the crib. We was in the house, and and I said, hey, like El Pastor Ricasa, he said, let's get this on wax. I said, hey man, we having this conversation. It's a spiritual conversation. Let's get it on wax, because it's an uplifting conversation to have. We was talking about that. We was talking about how also that our kingdom also will be eternal.
That's right.
All right. You know, a lot of Jakes have forsaken serving the Lord because they want to chase after the riches of this world. All right. They see the heathen living good and they want a piece of that pie. And like I said, I was watching on TikTok. I was looking at the ranch life, and I was like, man, that'd be great. Have me a large plot of land, some waterfront property, animals, you know, have your women, everything nice. It's just perfect, right? But I was thinking, say, if the Lord gave that to these Edomites, what is he going to give to us? Our kingdom going to be even better. And we're going to have time to enjoy it, because we're going to have it for eternity. All right? Forever. Okay? Never to fade away. All right? What scripture did I ask you to get?
This is
Colossians 3.
3rd chapter.
Colossians 3rd chapter. We'll stop. Go ahead and read Colossians 3. Start from the top of verse 1, Bubba Shaw.
If ye then be risen with Yahweh Shai, seek those things which are above, where Yahweh Shai sitteth on the right hand of the Most High Yahweh. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Yahweh Shai.
Stop right
Mashiach.
there. Stop right there. For you are dead, and your life is hid with Yahweh Shai. Keep reading.
In Yahweh. When Yahweh Shai, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory.
All right. Okay.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's what the whole conversation was about.
Right.
About how the Lord has blessed us. When you get into Genesis, the 35th chapter, and it starts talking about the blessings that the Lord gave to Jacob when he changed his name to Israel. He said, "There's many nations going to come out of your seed line."
Yep.
And we're just at the beginning of that. We're
Yeah.
just at the beginning of it. We have eternity ahead of us
Right.
as kings and priests in the Lord. And I was telling my son, Yahweh, I said, you know something, the Lord has made you a priest in this, because I'm not an authority, but how you're able to break down the Holy Scriptures is a gift from the Lord, because everybody can't do that. And we just pray that the Lord give us patience, where we'll be able to suffer whatever we have to suffer, because as the apostles of Great Millstone say, this is a suffering way.
Yeah.
All right, Yahweh Shai, he suffered, we're going to suffer. It's a suffering way on earth, but the reward is so great. It's like innumerable stars of heavens that you can look out there and see. That's how great it is, our inheritance is.
Right.
You see, so that's what we look forward to.
Yep. Con. Beautifully said. Yeah. So, like I said, we got to constantly remind ourselves of this from day to day, because it does get vexing being in this society, man. Okay? Like I said, you look at Esau, you look at the wicked, you look at 2/3. It looks like they living it up. They having a blast right about now, man. Okay? And the Lord, he's taking the mirth away from this society. So a lot of people are catching hell too, but like I said, man, as long as we remain faithful, we keep fighting, and we finish our race, okay, and we have all these things promised unto us, okay? Because we forsook our kingdom of heaven on this earth to receive the one that's coming next in the next earth age, man. All right, let me get these precepts. Oh, the brother Imrayah just put up the ones we already got those precepts, Akim, but the water for that, he put up Colossians 3. We just read those. Get we gonna stop in a sec. Get 1 Corinthians the 9th chapter. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 9 talk about the incorruptible crown. Okay. They strive for a corruptible crown. We striving for incorruptible.
That's right.
Okay.
I got it.
You got 1 Corinthians 9 already? Let me see right quick. I'm gonna make sure we get the right verses. I think it's around about verse Salaki.
Oops.
Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see the phone.
Get that.
I got it. Let me see the phone. All right, the water. Let me take a look. The scripture I'm thinking of. Here it is. Okay. I'll let you read it, brother. Now,
Okay.
1 Corinthians. Actually, I'll go ahead and read it since we on the move.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's dark. 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse I'm gonna start at verse 24. It says, "Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the masteries is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible." Okay, so once again, all right, what we're about to receive is incorruptible. Okay, an incorruptible crown from the Lord with a kingdom to match it. That's incorruptible. Right. Okay, like I said, you just think about that. If you
everlasting kingdom,
everlasting kingdom, you look at the glory of the wicked, and you think to yourself, the Lord gave all this to people He hates. How great is the kingdom He's going to give to those that He actually loves, to those that He calls His sons? Right. Okay, let me get this precept. The brother Aram Yahweh 444 put up Psalms 128 and verse 6. It says, "Yea, thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon Israel." Fire, which makes me think of one precept I'm going to bring out right now. Okay, y'all might not have heard this one before. All right, this one's heat right here. Psalms, the 126th chapter. All right, right around that same area. Psalms 126. All right, I'm going to read from the top. It says, "When the Lord, Yahweh, turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream." All right, so you think about when you're a kid, right? You think about your most wildest imaginations. You want to be an astronaut. I want to be a pilot. I was flying planes, but I don't need no plane, no space apparatus. The Lord gonna give us the power of flight, like a bird, man. Okay. All right, we're going to be like them that dream. You dream when you was a kid of kings and castles. Well, that's going to be us. All right. It says, "Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue was singing. Then said they among the heathen, the Lord hath done great things for them. The Lord hath done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Turn again our captivity, O Yahweh, as the streams in the south." It says, "They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. And he that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing sheaves with him." All right. So even though we sow in mourning, we sow in weeping, we're gonna reap with joy. Let me get this precept to the board, and I got one more I'm gonna get. Okay, the brother, a listener of Yasharallah, also put up 2 Corinthians 4 and 18. It says, "For we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen.
not seen.
For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal."
There you go.
That's it. That's it.
What we're looking for.
Right, and that's the brother. No, that's right. That's what made me say that we got to get this on wax, because he just came to me in very spiritual conversation, man. Hey, Khan, go for it, brother Imran. He said, "I'm taking those scriptures." That's Psalms 126. Yeah, go for it,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes,
Yeah, that one's hot.
Yeah,
I love that one because, I've always been a big dreamer. All right, before I was in the truth, I always was a go-getter, but now I'm just going to get something that's much more better. Okay, once again, that incorruptible crown.
Incorruptible.
I put all that time and energy I put into having businesses and trying to be a pilot and all that crap. I wouldn't trade the position I'm in right now for the most successful brain surgeon or anybody in this world. For the president, don't matter. Okay, because what we got, like I said, as Brother Nas said, the Lord's gonna make us kings and priests.
That's what we're talking about.
All right, let me get this right quick. The scripture, Jeremiah 33, because the Lord is actually gonna. What it said in that Psalms 126. Where is that one at? Psalms 126 and 2. That they shall say among the heathen, the Lord have done great things for them. Jeremiah 33 tells us that the Lord is going to bless Jacob so much, the nations are going to be in fear. Okay. And the brother, a listener of Yasharallah, said the chariots will make Esau's best planes look like toys. That's it. Facts. That's it.
That's right.
Yep. Let me get this Jeremiah 33. Y'all going to love this one, and we're going to close it out here. All right. Jeremiah chapter 33 And I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, "Behold, I will bring it health and cure, and I will cure them, and will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth. And I will cause the captivity of Judah and the captivity of Israel to return, and will build them as at the first. And I will cleanse them from all their iniquity, whereby they have sinned against me, and I will pardon all their iniquities, whereby they have sinned, and whereby they have transgressed against me. And it shall be to me a name of joy, a praise, and an honor before all the nations of the earth, which shall hear all the good that I do unto them, and they shall fear and tremble for all the goodness and for all the prosperity that I procure unto it." So the Lord said he gonna bless Jacob so hard, so heavily, the nations are gonna be in fear. It's gonna shake them up. Like, dang, like, man, we ain't never seen a nation so prosperous before.
So powerful.
So powerful, right?
Kings and priests, because see, in the Edomite kingdom, they dealing with satanic witchcraft and all that. You see, doing abominable things, but none of that's going to exist in our kingdom. And that's the beauty of it. And then it's an everlasting kingdom. The kingdom is temporal. So you have to think about that. We have an everlasting kingdom ahead of us that the mind cannot comprehend.
Hey, you know what? I mean, also, we're gonna enter into, like, think about King David and King Solomon, right? When the Queen of Sheba, came to visit King Solomon's kingdom, it said that it was so glorious that she fainted. She said even your servants look like kings.
That's right.
Okay. She said that it was much greater than what I had heard. She said I came to test to see if it was as magnificent and marvelous as what I've been told. And she said it actually exceeded my expectations. Okay. And of course, she was awed. So, Solomon, he probably put a baby up in the oven because she was so awestruck by King Solomon's, kingdom. But once again, that was a foreshadowing, a taste of what the elect is going to receive, man. So we got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just keep all these things in mind. We got to keep bringing these scriptures out in our head, replay them over and over. Allow our old selves to die so that the new us in Yahweh Shai can grow stronger and stronger, man. All right. And Lord's will, he keeps the spirit on us to make it all the way through, inherit the kingdom and receive that crown from the Lord's hand. So we're going to close it out with that. All right. Yahweh righteous is always edifying. And as always, going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the head apostles / other bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. The water for tuning in, Akim. And remember, keep pushing, keep believing, keep the faith. Till next time, Shalom and Abad Babal.
And let me just say this with one last word. Children of Israel, keep drinking these living waters. Yahweh Shai is with you. Keep drinking these living waters. You have a life of living forever. Shalom and a Baba.
All right, Shalom.